Welcome to Marketing and Mindset for Wellness Coaches, the podcast for health coaches and wellness entrepreneurs just like you who are building a business, making the world a healthier place, and designing a first-class life. I'm your host, Kim Foster, MD and certified business coach, and I'm on a mission to help you up-level your strategy and raise your mindset so you can truly thrive and grow your business. Let's get started. Hello, my friend. How are you? It's Kim here, and today we are going to talk about how to choose the right coach for you and your business. Because when you've decided that it's time to hire a business coach or a mentor, it can sometimes be really difficult to know who is the best coach for you personally. So if you're looking for an expert who can guide the success of your business and you're trying to figure out how to make the choice of who to invest with, this episode is for you. I'm going to give you 5 factors that will help you make the decision so you go with the right person and so that you invest your money and your time wisely and achieve the success that you desire. So make sure that you stay tuned all the way to the end of this episode, because not only am I going to share with you these 5 deciding factors, but I'm also going to give you a special invitation to a free training that will help you to finally go pro with your coaching business and build it to the point where you have replaced your regular day job income. So I'll give you the details at the end of this episode. So let's dive into today's topic. Now, maybe you are looking for a business coach because you're fed up with struggling away on your own. You're done with trying to reinvent the wheel, and you know that it's time to invest in expert support, because this whole piecemeal approach of trying to make it all up as you go is just not working. So you're ready for expert guidance and you're ready to level up. But who do you go with? How do you figure out who is the best coach for you? Not for anybody else, but for you. And I get that this can be tough because once you start looking, you may find that there is a whole lot of hype out there, that there are a lot of experts talking about how their system is the best and all of that marketing language. And you're trying to read between the lines of all of that and decide who to invest with. And I know how daunting it is, especially when you're looking for your very first mentor or your very first business coach. And as somebody who has worked with multiple coaches, like I have hired and worked with multiple mentors and coaches, whether it was through private coaching or group coaching, inside big programs and more intimate programs, at this point, I know a thing or two about how to choose the right person and the right program. I have invested a lot of money in my own development and in my own business, and some of those decisions were good ones and others not so much, perhaps. So I want to help save you some of the headache and some of those mistakes in order to find that perfect match for you. So let's walk through what you should be considering in order to find the perfect business coach or mentor for you. Starting with factor number 1, which is, do they have the business that you want to build? So it's important to realize that there is more than one way to skin a cat. There isn't only one way to build a business. And let's face it, the Facebook ads expert is going to tell you that Facebook ads are the way to go. Of course, Instagram expert is going to tell you that you have to be on Instagram in order to find success and so on. But there are so many different paths. That's why it gets very confusing out there, because everybody is giving you conflicting information and they are all very persuasive. So to cut through all that confusion, come back to you. What do you want? What kind of business do you want to build? What kind of business model feels the most aligned with who you are and the kind of life that you want and the work that you want to do? And then take a look at the coaches that you are considering. Do they have the kind of business that you would want for yourself? Do you admire the way that they show up, the way that they present themselves and market themselves? Because it's very likely that the way they do it is the way that they'll show you how to do it too. Listen to the people who have the results that you want, not just monetary results, but also how they run their business. You really need to dive deep and ask yourself, what type of business model do you see for your own business? And then narrow down which mentors you would like to follow in order to get that result. along the same lines, it's important to be mindful of the stage that you're at. No matter how compelling and seductive it might be to listen to a coach who is talking about building funnels designed to help you hit 7 figures this year while you sleep, of course. If you're right at the beginning of your business, you really need somebody who can help you build a solid foundation for your business first. And then down the road, once you've secured a steady income and you know what you're doing, then you can begin to scale and grow. I've had many early stage coaches come to me after having dropped literally thousands of dollars on high ticket programs that promised all kinds of lofty things, but really did require a lot more technical complexity and marketing know-how than they were quite ready for, and they were just completely lost. They didn't have the infrastructure yet, and it was like trying to run before they could walk. Respect the stage that you're at. Don't get seduced by those flashy promises, especially if you're at the beginning. Likewise, if you are ready to move on to a more sophisticated marketing strategy because you are poised to scale, then definitely seek out a coach or a program that can help you hit that next level. Okay, so the next factor to take into consideration is number 2, do you resonate with their story and their style? Understanding their business model is one thing. However, it's important to recognize that a lot of different people could have the same business model. So to further differentiate, I want you to pay attention to how they show up. What is their story? What is their brand all about at its core? Are they super casual, which would maybe resonate with, perhaps a somewhat younger audience? Or are they highly spiritual, emphasizing the intuitive and emotional elements of business? Or are they ultra buttoned up, talking a lot about systems and tech? Or really, are they a blend of some elements? None of these approaches are wrong. And there's all kinds of other variations on these. None of them are wrong. It's all about what resonates with you. What is the right fit for you? And it's important to ask yourself, do they emulate the kind of entrepreneur that you want to be? If you envision yourself as a confident, classy individual who ultimately wants to offer high-end, tailored programs, then you would probably do best to work with somebody who has the same vibe. If you envision yourself as a really casual girl next door who's totally accessible to the masses, then you may feel drawn to a coach who has that energy too. Also, what is their background or their backstory? And again, there's no background that's right or wrong. It's all about what feels like a match for you. But what life experiences have they had? What do they prioritize now? Do they travel and work from wherever? Or do they have kids? Or what life stage are they at? Again, those things may not matter at all to you, but it's just worth giving it some thought. And at the end of the day, it's not just the result that matters from the coaching experience, but it's also the actual experience you have too on that journey of working together with somebody. For me, I have always sought out mentors who had qualities that I wanted to step into as both an entrepreneur and as a person too. I mean, that's what mentorship is all about. If there was a coach who didn't really showcase certain qualities that I wanted to emulate and pattern myself after, I was less interested in working with them. Especially if, all other things being equal, I was trying to decide between 2 different coaches whose programs seemed to promise similar things. If one was more of a woman that I wanted to be, that was usually the one that I went with, and that has never steered me wrong. Okay, so let's move on to factor number 3, which is to ask yourself, do they specialize in working with people in your area or sector or niche? Because it's important to look at who they work with. Are their clients in a similar sector as you? Which, of course, this would suggest that they will know what they're talking about when it comes to your business. Now, everybody's business is unique, of course, so you will be hard-pressed to find somebody who specializes in your exact niche and only your niche. But let's talk general terms. If you're building a brick and mortar business, that is a different animal than an online business, for example. And you would really ideally want to seek out somebody who specializes in the type of business that you're building. There's nothing inherently wrong with going with a coach who has a broader expertise, but just know that much of the advice that you'll be receiving will be from that more general perspective, perhaps. You may have to extrapolate the content to your particular situation. If you enroll in a program that's designed for all comers from all different fields and sectors, then just be aware of that. It may totally work for you depending on your stage and what you want to get out of it, but it may not. And you want to ask yourself the question so that you can factor it into your decision at the beginning. Okay, moving on to number 4, I want you to take a look at their proof of success, their testimonials, and the results that they have obtained for their past clients. So take a look at their success stories or ask them for testimonials. You want to know what kind of results their past clients achieved after working with them. And do those results line up with what you want for yourself? Anybody can make claims, but do their testimonials back up their claims? So if you're considering a publicity coach, for example, do they have proof that their clients have been featured in major publications or media? Or if you're considering a mindset coach, do their client testimonials talk about breaking through internal blocks and barriers and opening up to an up-leveled mindset? If it's a brand strategist, then take a look at the portfolio of brands that they have helped to build. Basically, before investing with somebody, you want to do your due diligence and make sure that they have a track record of helping people achieve what they say they can help you achieve. Okay, so factor number 5 when it comes to choosing the right coach or mentor is to consider how much contact will you get with them personally versus their team. Now, this is also where you need to know what you want and how you work best and what you're looking for in a mentor. I've personally hired coaches and mentors who I worked with one-to-one. It was just the two of us working on my goals together. And I've also joined really big high-ticket group programs where there were tons of other people in the program, like I'm talking hundreds of other women, but I had very little direct contact with the actual coach, with the leader at the top of the company. And both of those models have merit for sure. They both have their place. I gained different things from each program that I invested in. I definitely enjoyed myself in those big group programs, and there was kind of like a fun, almost party-like atmosphere inside them. Now, did I have the most incredible transformation personally? Did I make the most progress on my own business, on my own projects? Not really, to be honest. In my experience, the biggest noticeable differences in my growth have always happened when I was inside either a one-to-one program with a coach or a mentor, or in a small elite group of people, a really high-touch experience with plenty of contact with the woman at the head of the company. She wasn't tucked away like the man behind the curtain with a bunch of showy smoke and mirrors on display and a really large team that kind of kept her protected and at arm's length. Again, those kinds of big programs can definitely be fun and exciting, but for me, whenever I really wanted to get down to work and accomplish a lot and get expert guidance and a tailored experience, it needed to be inside a one-to-one program or a small group experience. So you have to know what you need and what you want for yourself, for whatever it is that you need support around. You just need to be very intentional about this. Before you invest in something, think about what you want to get out of the experience. Are you looking to feel like you're part of a massive movement? Or do you feel more comfortable knowing that you're inside a large multi-tiered system, even if it is a little anonymous? Or would you prefer more of a high-touch experience where you actually get direct contact with the person at the top? And this is in fact why I designed my group program the way that I did, because I personally value that high-touch element. So I created what I describe as a boutique experience for my clients. I keep my numbers small, I'm selective about who is a good fit, and I don't outsource any of the actual coaching to anybody else. When you work with me, you get me. It's important to me that I know all of my clients and group participants' businesses inside out. If you're inside my group, I know exactly what you're working on and what you're struggling with. All of the coaching, the training, the mentorship, that all happens with me personally. Okay, so there you have it. Those are my 5 factors to consider when you're trying to choose the right business coach and mentor. So let's just recap what those factors are. Number 1, do they have the kind of business that you would want for yourself? Number 2, do you resonate with their story and with their brand or style? Number 3 is, do they specialize in working with people in your area or sector or niche? Number 4 is, do they have proof of success with testimonials and past client results? And number 5 is, how much contact will you get with them personally versus their team? Now, like I said at the beginning, I would love to invite you to my free online training called The 4-Part Formula for Replacing Your 9-to-5 Income with a Coaching Business You Love. Inside this training, I will be teaching you the details of my framework that I have developed over many years of doing this work, the 4 key elements that you need in your coaching business in order to get all the clients you want so that you can replace your income and step into a freedom-based career that gives you the lifestyle you truly desire. I'll also tell you about the 3 key mistakes that I see coaches making all the time that are keeping them stuck and are making them feel like things aren't working in their business, because I don't want you to make those mistakes. So all you need to do is go to drkimfoster.com/business training right now to reserve your seat. It's completely free, but it's only available for a limited time. So now I'd love to hear from you. Take a quick screenshot of this episode if you're listening on your phone and post it on Instagram or Facebook, and be sure to tag me and then let me know. Have you hired a coach or a mentor for your business? How did you choose the best person for the job? I would be really interested to know. Okay, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and I hope it helped give you some key factors to consider when choosing your first or your next coach or mentor. Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate you. Stay well and stay safe, and I will talk to you next time. Thanks so much for listening. If you are ready to build a coaching business that gives you freedom and flexibility and allows you to make a meaningful impact in the world, but you're not really sure how to get started or what you need to do to attract the perfect clients and grow your income, then let me be your coach. I would love to teach you my exact framework, my proven method for how I created a freedom-based business for myself and how I've helped dozens of clients do the same thing and create a life that is better than their dreams. Get started by heading over to drkimfoster.com/business training, and there you can sign up for my free online training called The 4-Part Formula for Replacing Your 9-to-5 Income with a Coaching Business You Love.